Hi guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video I'll be doing my AFL Fantasy Team reveal for round 7, going through my trades and who I eventually settled on, as this is now recorded on the Friday, so we know the initial teams, and the extended benches doesn't really seem to be impacting me. So these are my trades unless there is late drama. I mean, there's already been a little bit of drama, but not interfering my teams. So before we get into it, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into the video. So as you can see here, ranked 21,289, 112k left in the bank with the trades that I've done. Team value currently of 18.56 million, so I'm a little bit behind on that from other teams that I've seen at like 19 million, but hopefully those teams seem to have a lot of mid-range guys which could easily fail, and that will capitulate them down the order. They don't really have a set. The teams that I've seen that are actually really good value are around those 19 million, not 19.2, as they have a good set structure of rookies and mid prices, like 1 or 2 mid prices, and the rest are premiums, 15 or so premiums. They might be a half a premium ahead of me so far, but that can be caught up because my bench seems to be a little bit better than most people's benches, as I didn't get caught up much in the rookie drama. So we start here, Nick Dacos. He is not getting the captaincy this week because it looks from all reports that we will see Keezy tag him, and I don't really want to tempt him with a in the last game of the round as a captain, as it looks like Keezy will actually put a shift into him and not just let him run. So I'm not going to keep him as captain. I'm going to just let him run as a normal player this week. I'm not terribly worried. I think he probably just drops an 80, 85, 90. I don't think he drops the 140 or so. Maybe it's similar to the Richmond game here, where he just gets to a ton or something like that. But I don't think it's not a worry trade out type thing, even though he has the Swans next week, in which Clark will tag. Giants won't tag after that, so he's pretty clear after that. Stewart in next. We've got the Bombers here, and he should absolutely feast, especially if they just decide to bomb it out like they did last week against Collingwood. I expect him to feast. It's sort of similar to Nick Dacos, but probably 20 points less. I actually expect Stewart to go 120 in this game and really be a good score. And he's one of the most important people in my team at the moment because he is crucial in terms of the buy structure. And there's some guys, when I talk about my actual trades, that I'll look at next week in terms of there's a lot of, for me, it's about round 12 and round 13 buys in the next couple of weeks. So you got Will Day here. I brought him back in just because of that 46 break even, and I didn't really want to go against the crowd with Will Day, as he's one that's it's not like a premium guy yet, but it's not like a premium guy where it's going to be 10 or 20 points. If I make a wrong decision with Will Day, he could go 120, and a guy similar price could easily go like 80 or 75 for a couple weeks, and that can... So I'm just going to go with the crowd with this one, get him in, get that. If his break even was like 70, 75, I might have gone Weller, but because his break even is 46, I think you need to get the cash out of him, especially because he's going to rocket up to 800k with a couple of good games. And then you have Duggan here again. I don't like that Shannon Hearn's back and that he hasn't really capitalized. I mean, he went 86, 103, 81 in the last 3 games, which is an average of 90. So hopefully he can hold that up. He's got Carlton, and he should do really well against them because they seem to like to give up a lot. Do they give up points to defenders a lot? Let's see. St Kilda. All positions... Defenders, St Kilda, last round, 93, 83, 61. So not really actually looking at that. They didn't really give up many points, to be honest, to anyone here from St Kilda. But, I mean, if you if you look at the other guys, I think you'll find that it might be a tough week for Duggan against Carlton, but Carlton do kick a lot of behinds, so that could help him out as getting +6s and others. I should probably get off St Kilda. So I'm expecting Duggan to do relatively well. Just hoping for another couple of 80s here until I can feed him out of the team. I mean, he's got a round 14 bye, so I mean that'll help with my team in getting a couple of the round 14 buys guys off my team and into other, I guess, players. This hasn't updated, doesn't look like. So I think I need that for my thinking through the way I want to loophole things in. I think I need Rosie up here. So then McGrath's sitting here again, just in here because I think his low is a 65, 67. His high obviously is only an 88, but that is so much better than I feel like Holland's is high is a 77 and his low is a 40. Philippu's high is a 70 and his low is a 40. So, all these guys, wow, that is really small. If I do that, that's better, I think. There we go. That'll be better to see. As you can see here, 40 and 70 for Philippu. So I just want to keep McGrath on field, to be honest, at the moment, because I need those points, and taking a 20k hit also for these guys, 20k is not the equivalent, in my opinion, of 20, 30 points. So that's why I want McGrath still on field at the moment. It did come close in the fact that if it was McGrath and also Himmelberg getting that defender role, I would have gone for Himmelberg, as that was a risk I was willing to take in my position. But at the moment, I just need to get the scores on field and get rookies off. As you can see, I've only got 1 rookie in here, 3 here, so that's 4. And then a rookie score here, which will be either Philippu or Mitchell, depending on how Philippu does, because he plays tonight. And if he goes and scores, say, 65, 70, you may see me wait a little bit. And then I should probably actually do this, because that'll make this change quicker, in that I can go, if Philippu scores well, then I can even put, and Wilmot doesn't score well, I can put Sincotta here. I can put Sincotta here, and then West Coast against, so Carlton then play. So let me just work. Carlton play, where do Carlton play? Here. So they play after Hawthorn. Okay. That doesn't work potentially, but basically if Philippu scores well, then there's a problem with Mitchell. There could be, and he might not be on field, but I'd rather have a definite 60 or 70 than wait for Mitchell to potentially drop like a 40 or something. But Wilmot's on the bench here. We'll see how well he does. He could potentially drop a stinker, which would allow me to, I think I'd probably, given Holland's volatility, I'd probably go Mitchell into the back line, especially because Mitchell plays Western Bulldogs. They should do well against them, so that'll go into the back line. Then Cowan's an emergency. He'll be a guy next week that I get rid of and go down to a rookie guy, especially because, do we have any looking at prices? 200k, all status. Let's go to selected as played. And you've got Angwin's actually playing, so that could be interesting. Sturt's probably going to have his big price rise before then. Any guys here? Weddle, we'll see with Sheldrick. Sheldrick could be one that I get, and then that'll give me more flexibility, as I'll put Chesser probably into the back line as well there, and then I can put Sheldrick into the midfield, as I just want to see his role, I guess. And then Angwin could be another guy that I look at, dependent on if he gets how well he does this week. So those are the guys that I'm looking at, or maybe even Ramsden to help. But I don't want another ruckman, to be honest, but we'll see how he does. And as he could be good because that could. I need to in a couple weeks be able to get rid of Samson Ryan, to be honest. And then you've got Petrarca starting the midfield. He's going really well. Plays North. Hopefully he goes ridiculous. I mean, and then you've got Bont here playing Hawks. I mean, you could try to tag him, but he's huge. Like, he's 190 something. And Nash is named on the wing, and they've got Day back, so that's more midfield minutes that Nash probably won't have. So you're taking out either Warple or... yes, you do have Mackenzie, who had like 20% CBAs, I believe. But if we look here, centre bounce attendances, Hawthorn 2023, Cam Mackenzie 28-27, so you're dropping that and picking up Will Day's 82, so you have to find 50% somewhere, and I think we see Nash and Warple go back to these type of numbers here, and yeah, so that's what I think we'll have, and I don't know who Ramsden will probably pick, but he's a ruck, so that doesn't really matter. We'll probably see Newcomb stay at these high numbers, actually, now thinking about it, and Warple will drop down. Reeves will be whatever ruck numbers needed. Connor Nash will drop down to the 60s. Will Day will get the 80%, and Mackenzie's obviously out. Did Ward come back? Let's see. Ward is back, so I expect him to get those similar type minutes in the midfield. But what I'm trying to say here is that I don't think Nash will be on Bont. I don't think they have a way to get Bont so to really tag him, as you can't really tag him. You just got to hope that he doesn't go crazy, as he'll just drift forward, honestly, and kick 2 goals and have 30 touches and 10 tackles or so type game. Tom Green against the Swans should do well on a narrow ground. It will be quite a contested game, and I expect him to probably have a 4 tackle, 4 mark, 30 disposal game. Rosie is in the midfield just to help with some switching, as I might need to potentially, to switch some people around, as Rosie plays tonight, and then we will see. So he plays tonight, so he'll be locked in, and I might need to be able to, if I do that, swapping Sincotta into the back line. But then again, I might just swap Mitchell into the back line if Philippou has a good game. But say Philippou has a bad game, we'll put this scenario out. Say Philippou has a bad game, so he's wiped. I'll put Mitchell in here and just swap these two, as that's a straight swap. And then I need to find a way to get another... I guess it doesn't actually matter, as I can do that here, and then I can put Long in here and then swap Holland onto field. So it actually doesn't matter in the end, but we'll just keep it like this in case I'm missing something, because I need Gordon being here has more flexibility than Rosie being in the forward line and locked out. I'm pretty sure. So Rosie's there. Warple, I just need another couple of good weeks of cash gen out of him. 85 average is not going to really hold, I don't think, so I'm expecting a 75 from him, but he has like a 50 break even, so that should be fine. Ashcroft here, 76 average, so yeah, hopefully he has a good game against Freo, should do well. Jimby here, I'm just honestly waiting for him to get dropped sometime, or should I say omitted, rested, managed, whatever they call it these days. They really should do better at having an injury like policy, because Doherty coming back 2 to 4 weeks and then coming back 2 days later, that's pretty crazy. So they probably need to strike down on how you say that they're out, as well as how long you say that they're out for if they are actually injured. Sincotta here, 76 first game, just need to pounce on that low break even, and he's playing just because he had only 6 kicks and 18 handballs, but I sort of expect him to be able to get those. Against West Coast, I think they will try and look for an opening. They won't just bomb it in long, and I think he'll get a lot of chip around marks, where they're playing at Optus Stadium as well, so a bigger ground, so it should help him. And then you got Holland here just trying to gain value on the bench, to be honest, backing off that 75 score. So hopefully he's able to go big again. Campbell, Chesser injured, but he's looking good to return, I think, in 2 to 3. So that'll be good for some cash gen, as he's still held by 60% of players, as he's got an alright score that when he comes back he should be able to make cash, and he's one of those slow burners like Saligo was last year for me. I had to wait a long time for him to come back into the side, I believe, and once he did, he started to gain some late cash, so it was almost like a reward, like I have had with Samson Ryan, in that a lot of people had Max Heath there, who's not gaining cash, whereas Samson Ryan is playing, so I don't have another loophole option there, but playing and gaining cash, so he might gain me 200k. Marshall, English, top 2 rucks in the comp, in my opinion. Like most consistent, we've had one bad score from Marshall and no bad scores from English, so just going to hold these two for the rest of the year, to be honest. And that's the ruck line. And then you have Dunks here, who honestly is the only positive about Dunks at the moment is this round 12 bye, and that not many other teams. There's basically no one from the Swans that I really like. I have Gordon, but it's sort of like up in the air. With him, I don't like him, to be honest. That's one of the reasons why I like, the only reasons why I like Gordon and Dunks is this round 12 bye. You've got from St Kilda, I like Steele in about 2 weeks, and no one really else from St Kilda. I mean, we do have Rowan Marshall, which does help. And then from Freo, you've got Sarong, and that's about it. Maybe Ryan, but I think Ryan, if he was actually at a club that had a manager that had a coach that actually cared, I think Ryan would have a decreased role or get chucked out of the side, to be honest. He's sort of like Redmond in that his disposals are just so ineffective. And then from who else is the other round 12 team? I forgot who it was. Let's just check on, because I have a notes thing of it, so let me go to it. You've got Lions, Dockers, Saints, Swans, and yes, so Dunkley and the Lions, there is literally no one else that I want from them either, because Neil is averaging, I think, 88, and no one else in their last 3 or 5 has really done anything interesting there, so that's why round 12 is kind of an iffy one. And that I might stack a little bit more on the Gold Coast Suns, as I'm looking into... So this week I'm really looking into Sarong, Weller and Rowell out of my trade targets. Taranto, nothing much needs to be said. Playing against Gold Coast, don't expect them to tag because they don't have Took. And I think their midfield's just a mess. And I think Taranto could easily go 130. Gordon playing GWS probably will struggle a little bit considering what happened last game, but just got to hold him at this point. I mean, how many? 37% owned, so he's not killing me. Sheasel hopefully gets back to his best, and those factors don't show that it was Aaron Hall coming back to the side that affected him, so hopefully he gets back to those, even just an 80 or 90 to be honest. And then Zeeble hoping for those 95s, and as we were talking about with Noel Long's still 2 or 3 weeks away apparently. They're taking the slow side with him, but seems like they're taking the slow slide with a lot of the injuries, and that's why they have 20 guys out, the Eagles. And then Philippou here is playing tonight. Davey, hopefully he just finds a way to gain cash out. He could be out as well. He might be a way to, instead of Cowan, get up to someone, get rid of McGrath and get up to someone. And then as we were talking with Seamus Mitchell, seems like he's going to hold his spot, to be honest with you, and just hope that he puts up some good performances as well. Just limit the turnovers, even though it's not a fancy relevant stat. He needs to limit the turnovers and just be effective with his kicks, as that will help him stay in the side. So as you can see here, my trades this week, Mackenzie looks like he might be the sub. I'm not 100% sure, but that he could easily be the sub, him or McDonald, and I just don't want that considering what he did last week. He a couple of weeks ago killed his fantasy cash gen with the 20, and I don't want that, so I brought in Will Day, as he's going to take that spot basically and more. And then Cameron Minty being suspended, just can't have that, so I'm going to get rid of him for Sincotta. But that was a position that I might have needed difference in, but we'll see, as I can wait. No, I cannot wait. We'll see with that. I might change my mind in the hours leading up to it, but it will be just another bench guy that goes potentially either. I can't do it with Cowan, I don't think. Or maybe I can do it with Cowan, actually thinking about it. I can get rid of Cowan. It's basically between him and Cowan. Getting rid of them. Cowan would probably help a little bit, I'm guessing. Or probably not actually now, thinking about it. So maybe Kevin Minty is the best choice. But I don't know if Cowan's going to get his way back into the side. So maybe getting rid of Cowan now, as they're both guys that aren't going to play, gaining any value. So getting rid of Cowan, because Cameron Minty comes back in a couple of weeks and he might actually be a guy that I can't trade out in that time and then turns into a cash generator again. So that might be a plan. But I'll see. I'll mess around with that a little bit before the time of the first lockout. And yeah, so if I go back here, that's my AFL team for round 7, AFL team preview. So I'll see you guys in the, I guess, game reviews tomorrow. So thanks, guys. Goodbye.